So here, over here again in standard form. Now, standard form is the form of the standard form of the linear equation is ax plus by equals c, and that's kind of true. In the correct standard form, a is greater than 0, and there is no common divisor of a, b, and c. Since, well, if there is, then you can simplify that in a more simplified standard form by dividing by through by that common divisor. So for example, this thing has a couple nice perks to it. Like for example, you can simply set one coordinate, let's say x to 0, and solve y to get the y-intercept, or CB. For example, basically that means if you want the y-intercept, well, then without a line, you can think, okay, x is 0, so x to 0, so a times 0 is 0, plus b times y equals c. When I can, let's see, to get the y-intercept, aka y, I can divide by b to get c over b. So, and vice versa, well, you can get the x-intercept by setting y to 0, b times 0, 0, and then dividing by a, c divided by a. So now the slope is pretty easy to recognize as well. And then that simply divides x over b, which is y. And that will always give the slope of any equation written in standard form by solving the standard form equation for y. And then of course you can just convert this in a slope-intercept form, which, where is it? Is slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Now this is most importantly, perhaps most importantly, standard form is how most linear equations are written on competition questions and answer choices. So probably not the slope-intercept, although that's pretty common. It's usually written in standard form. So that's standard form. Now perpendicular and parallel lines. Now that means, well, two lines of the same slope are parallel. Which, well, if you have the same slope, 1 and 1, well, then those two lines are parallel no matter how you twist them. And two lines are perpendicular, the product of the slopes is equal to -1, or in other words, the slopes are opposite, right? Since we have a slope of 3 and then a slope of -3, well, then they're going to go right, they're going to cross right in the middle. Now, in other words, perpendicular slopes have negative reciprocals of each other, right? Negative reciprocals. Now, the slope of a horizontal line, and this is horizontal and vertical lines. The slope of a horizontal line is 0, right? Since, well, if you're just going straight, like, it's just going to go all the way across, at 0. You're not going up, you're not going down. So it's just nothing, 0. And then the slope of a vertical line is undefined, since, well, undefined means can't find the slope, since, because the denominator of the slope is 0, right? The rise over the run. When you pick 2 points, well, y and y are going to be different, but x and x, so those are going to be the same, right? It's just going to be the x coordinates all the way along, 1, 1, 1, 1, or 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, or negative, so on and so forth, which means the denominator of rise over run, the run, is going to be 0. You're not going left, you're not going right, so the run is 0, so it's dividing by 0, you can't divide by 0, so no. So you can't find the slope of a vertical line. Now a horizontal line will be the form y equals k, where k is some constant. For example, y equals 3. The y plane is just going to stay 3 the whole way around. It's not going to go up, it's not going to go down. And the equation and the vertical line will be in the form x equals k. For example, if x is 4, what that means, the vertical line is passing through the x-axis at 4, 0. Just going to keep going up. 4 is right here, so it's going to go up and down, up and down. You're not going to go left, you're not going to go right. So basically, that's basically everything you need to know for a basic, or like all the basic concepts for slope and for slope intercepts. Now, we're going to be talking about this a lot. These problems. Now, if you want, you can take a screenshot, or you can just work on these problems. Work on work on a couple, work on a few, like first few or a couple of these problems that you want. And since I'm going to be picking some of these, and if I pick one of yours, you can see that if you really understand this stuff that I just talked about by checking your work with mine.